So now we have it all. So then, when do we invite our horse in to us?
When you get older.
After he's done that for,
Yes.
what, a lap or two?
Yeah, when you feel it. And what you're doing there is feel, and you're feeling commitment is what you're doing. So now imagine a horse, particularly the Arabians, and I can put them in that bunch of category because the Arabs will give all of this in 1 minute. So hence you still run through all of this. You still say, let's talk about it, let's debate it. And at the end, once they've given you everything, same thing, even if you've gone through the contract, you're looking for commitment. So you're feeling this draw, because with the Arabians, if you invite them in too early, they will just walk on by. They come and go, hi, oh no, what was that?
Why is it?
They can't commit. They find it very difficult to commit. So you really want to feel the commitment before you do it. They're smart, you know, and life's so proud and intriguing, and they like to be part of it. They're curious, and they're looking for things to do. So they're not so, or they are very in the moment. So what you invite them in, they go, okay, I'll come. Oh, what was that? They get distracted. Distraction is the survival trait. So at this point, we're saying, try not to be distracted. We're looking for you to commit to me as this herd of two. I'll be distracted on your behalf. I will take care of the outside of the round pen. You stick with me. It's one of those things where they're kind of saying they don't trust that you have what it takes to be that leader. So you're looking ultimately for commitment with them, and you'll feel that in the lap or two that you get.
That's like the stud yesterday when we were trying to catch
That's it.
him.
That
He'd
commitment.
give it to you for a second, and then
And
it was gone.
Yeah.
And then he'd come back, and he'd think you could see him thinking about it.
Yeah.
He was like, no, and off he went. And then when he finally
You'll see the
said,
penny
okay,
drop.
that's when we finally caught him.
Yeah. And that penny will drop with these horses. And often people will say they're lying, you know. Horses don't lie. You've got Mark Rashid writing that book, Horses Never Lie. They don't. So it's not like the Arabians lie and say, hey, I'll give it to you, girlfriend, and then I'm going to walk off. Not like that at all. They're thinking they're doing it, but then they can't commit at the last minute. So you're looking for that piece. So when we're happy with it, we're going to invite them in. And we're going to do what Mary Jo said. We're going to take our shoulder by and go passive. What angle do we go passive at? 45-degree angle passive. So you go the same direction that your horse is going in. So if your horse is now going counterclockwise, when you come to the invitation, taking your shoulder by, it's the same direction. You don't flip back and go the other way. It's the same direction.
So your left shoulder out. Back.
Yes. Yeah. So you just take the shoulder just slightly in front of them, like a fish hook, where you're stepping out in front so they can see you, releasing the pressure by coming away a little bit, which gives you the fish hook, and then the slight angle of 45 degrees. And that will be the invitation in. Now, horses drag their eyes. They don't snap their eyes. So human beings, if I'm looking over to Sharon, I'm snapping my eyes, generally speaking, in every direction. Horses drag, so that means they drag all the way to get over here. That's how their eyes work. So when you come to inviting them in, and you take your shoulder by, rather than snapping your eyes from Julie to this area, which says, I'd like you to come here, you drag your eyes to the area, which shows them exactly the path which they need to take, because you'd like them to come to you. Okay? There's a certain area that we choose for the invitation to be in the round pen. So we actually have a plan when we invite them in. Where would that area be? Does anybody remember? Yeah, definitely not the gate.
And in the center.
Towards the center. But if I have, other than the gate, 340 degrees of a round pen, which area would I choose on that round pen to do my invitation in?
Is there an area where the horse is always relaxing?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a natural spot
Great.
that the horse takes,
Yeah.
and you utilize that after you watch the horse as
That's
to
it.
where it's going.
That's it. We've labelled it the sweet spot, because it's sweet as in horse is most comfortable there. Now, how you recognise the sweet spot will be the first place that the horse relaxes in. Because by the end, if you haven't pictured that first place, the horse will be licking and chewing in most places and dropping his head in most places, and you won't know where it is. It's the first time they lick and chew, the first time they lower their head or come off the wall. That is the sweet spot. That's where they feel most comfortable. That's the one you utilize and say, you know what, I'm going to invite you in where you feel most comfortable.
Yeah, but I was stuck on that it was something to do with the first 5 or 10 minutes in there.
For the
last
sweet
year.
spot?
Yeah.
No, that's
They
how
didn't
far you
pick-
driving.
They didn't pick a spot when they first. Okay.
Not during the driving. When they come to relax on the final direction, they will begin to choose it. Yeah. Okay. So then we have that. Okay, so then we get the horse to come to us. We look at arcing if we have to when it happens, how to invite them to us at a later date. And then we're going to create the same heart-to-heart connection that we began with when we entered the round pen, where your heart's literally facing their heart, not a token rub on the forehead, but literally your shoulders are square towards them and you're giving them the time to rub them between the eyes. Now that's also one of their most vulnerable areas between the eyes, because the horses have 1, 2, 3, 4 blind areas on their body, and you're going into one of them. You're walking into that area, the forehead, which is known as the third eye also, and you're rubbing them there. So there's a lot of trust. Depending on the positioning of the eyes, how far in front of them is blind for a horse.
6 feet.
Yeah, up to 6 feet in front of a horse is blind. That's an awful long way from here to maybe the door, depending on the eye positioning. Because if they're pretty far forward, obviously it's not 6 feet. But what it means is the eyes are on the side, and at some point it will come together, so there will be an area that's blind. You're putting your hand into that. That's a trust-building exercise, to be able to put the hand there and rub them. So we'll be doing that. Once we've completed this, you're ultimately, slightly beforehand, you're ultimately looking for your horse to reach out to you. Hence, I've coined the method reaching out, because I'm really looking for my horse to reach out to me, and that means that they stretch and they go to smell. So any untouched wild horse that I'm with, the first day, no round penning involved now, the first day that I go to introduce myself to the horse, I present the back of my hand and I'm looking for them to reach out. If they can come to me, I finish my lesson on that day. That's all I'm looking for, is a horse to say, I acknowledge, I would like to breathe, smell, be with you, but I can't quite do it. Great. I just want the introduction. So in the round pen environment, you're looking for the same thing. You're looking for your horse to reach out and either touch. Some of them will literally push you, and you go flying. Others will breathe with you. Others will breathe down your neck. But it's that moment where they come to join you that you're really embracing them and spending the time and giving them an awful lot of affection at that point. Now, some of you, I think last year I may have shown the Martha Stewart DVD. I was demonstrating with a Frisian the methods, and I had to put a lot of dialogue in when I was doing that so people would understand what I'm doing. And I'm rubbing him between the eyes, doing my dialogue, and this Frisian just went, I went flying, and I went, I guess I need to move on. You can also rub too long. This guy is going, what are you doing? Get on with it, will you? So it probably looked to the audience like, she just got pushed. Why didn't she tell him off? Because I lingered too long. I had to speak to tell people, and it took too long, and the guy just wanted to get on with his job. Fair enough. So when you're rubbing, don't get too involved where you're there for 5 minutes and you bore your horse to death. Just feel that you're gaining the connection. Once you've got that, you're walking off. You've got a close connection. That's what you're hoping for. Now, this close connection after this work verifies what you've done in the round pen.